finally, first video I've had in a while. I want to talk about it for a minute. Some of the clips that you'll see are kind of confusing or whatever, and just they're in between shots I was doing while working on the camper. So the update is, obviously the propane's fixed, but the next step I took is I hooked up the water pump and filled the fresh water tank with water, and then I got the hot water heater lit. So now whenever I want, I can just turn on my water here. The pump will kick on and it's scalding hot water. The only thing the camper doesn't have is a furnace that was taken out before I got it. So I usually stay out here between spring and late fall, and then I drain the tanks and put it away, stay in the house until it warms up again. So throughout the winter I stay in the house, but it's early August, very early August, and this is kind of a lot of things I've got done. I've got the roof done, the propane done, the door fixed, a new screen on the screen door, etc. So everything's running off of a 20-gallon tank in the front of the camper, and I'm gonna leave everything running most of the time and see what my consumption's going to be. My last tank just for the oven and the stove lasted me like a month and a half or so. It was still going, but I went and got a new one anyway. So anyway, that's the update, and that's what we're doing in this. Alright, so tonight's the night that I discovered a bunch of things about the camper that I didn't know before, and began working on them as a normal person would on their weekends when they're not working. So I got off tonight at 11. It's like 5 in the morning. I've been trying to figure out this problem all night. So underneath the other camper bed where my TV used to be and all the things I used to do, I never knew. There's a fresh water tank, probably 30-35 gallons. I'm guessing it's pretty big. Doesn't say. There's a signature there, etc. So yeah, that's there. So I couldn't get water in it, so I cut a little hole in the top, let the air in so it can fill up, and it did. It worked fine. Then another thing I did was I brought in the motorcycle battery. Not really, but the Craftsman battery. Since we're not using the Craftsman right now, I figured I'd use this to jumpstart it, since this camper never had electricity. And then there's a water pump. There it is, right there. The SureFlow. And this SureFlow is like forever old. It's, I don't even know when manufacture date was. Oh, they replaced it in 1996. Sweet. So it is, you know, about, I don't even know how old. It's like, I don't know, 15 years old. So I was like, oh shit. So instead of hooking the hose up and going through all that trauma, I figured I would put water in the tank and try it out. So another cool feature I noticed is I could just charge one battery and leave it in here for the pump, because I like to wash my hands and flush toilets. So all it is, basically, I re-rigged it, make it kind of ghetto, but not ghetto. Made sure the hose isn't too kinked, and then I hook it up into that setting right there. And I believe that this thing tells it to shut off whenever it gets pressurized, which is probably good. So I just take this one wire here, and I can leave it like this all day, probably for days. I'm guessing that, I mean, I don't think a water pump runs 12 volts, which is good for this battery, because I thought this battery was a 6 volt, but it's not. So let's show you what happens. So you hook it up, and it pressurizes the system. And I figured I have to deal with that noise all night, but I don't. Shut off. Why did it shut off? Then I realized, because it's pressurized the system with the fresh water tank, which is right there. Which is amazing to me still to this day, because this is a really old camper. So, turn the water on, and then kicks back on. Shut it off. Pressurizes the system, the whole system too. Kitchen as well. At least I believe. And then here, kick on again. Shut it off. So therefore, I could potentially run that on that battery and charge it like once a week, which is amazing. For me anyway. Same thing with showers. Now that I got propane, I could take... I'm still flushing the tank a few times because it's making some... It had some... It's making a hissing noise. like the bubbles from the tank. So I'm doing this a few times, clearing it out. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I figured out tonight. So now I can just fill the tank up, use that for a few days, and then when I run out, do it again. So we're gonna mess with that for a while and see what happens. So now that I have a self-pumping system in the camper, we're gonna look at the water heater. That's the thing. Kind of hard to explain, but you have to hold this to the left to light it. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but see if I can get it lit. But find out. Alright, so once you get the pilot lit, which it looks like it is, then you can slide it over to on, and it'll ignite, and it works. I'm so fucking shocked at how many things this thing does. So now we have hot water in the camper. So now we can close this up. I think. And we have hot water. I have to go to the lock for it, but yeah. That's all it is. And now we will have hot water on demand. Wow.